What if weak glutes are the hidden reason your balance has changed? Doctors and physical therapists see this connection often after 60, and most people never realize it. The good news is this. Today, I'll show you 3 simple seated movements that may help strengthen your glutes and improve your balance. You'll stay seated the entire time. These exercises are gentle and commonly used in clinical settings. Most people find them manageable. After 60, glute strength naturally begins to decline. This is common. It's not because you've done anything wrong. You may notice balance feels shakier. Standing feels harder. Walking requires more focus. This isn't failure. It's a normal change the body goes through. Here's what's reassuring. Studies show that muscle maintenance is possible at any age when movements are done safely and consistently. Your body still responds. Your glutes are your body stabilizers. They keep your pelvis steady. A steady pelvis means better balance. Weak glutes create that unsteady feeling. Glute strength supports walking without wobbling, standing without holding on to things, turning without feeling off balance, getting up from chairs. Your independence depends on it. Chair-based exercises are often recommended because they provide support, reduce strain, and lower the risk of losing balance. Safe movement is effective movement. Let me show you the first one. Exercise 1. Seated glute squeeze. This movement may help wake up dormant glute muscles. It's simple but effective. What it helps with is reactivating glutes that have gone quiet. Many people over 60 find their glutes have stopped firing properly. This exercise builds a mind-muscle connection. When your glutes are engaged, balance improves naturally. This exercise is safe because you remain fully seated with back support. There's no movement required, just muscle engagement. No risk of losing balance. Physical therapists commonly use this in clinical settings as a first step in glute activation. Here's how to do it. Sit upright in a sturdy chair. Your back should be supported. Feet flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Hands can rest on your thighs or on the armrest for stability. Whatever feels comfortable. Now squeeze both glutes as hard as you can. Imagine you're trying to hold something between your buttocks. Squeeze tight. Hold this squeeze for 3 to 5 seconds. You may feel your glutes tightening. You might notice a slight lift. That's normal. It means the muscles are working. Then release completely. Let the muscles relax. Rest for 3 seconds. That's 1 repetition. Do this movement 8 to 10 times. If 8 feels like plenty, stop there. If you can do 10 comfortably, that's fine. Listen to what feels appropriate for your body today. What you might notice. You may feel your glutes tightening as you squeeze. Some people feel warmth or gentle fatigue after several repetitions. This is normal muscle engagement. It means the movement is working. If you don't feel much at first, squeeze harder. Focus on the muscles. Think about contracting them deliberately. Some people need a few tries before they feel the connection. If you feel sharp pain, stop. Sharp pain is different from muscle work. Muscle work feels like effort, a gentle burn. Fatigue. Pain feels alarming. Sharp. Concerning. Know the difference. If 8 to 10 repetitions feels like too many, do 5. If holding for 5 seconds is difficult, hold for 3. Any effort is progress. Small movements create meaningful change over time. Your body responds to consistent effort, not perfection. Meeting yourself where you are today is the right approach. Physical therapists often use this exercise as the first step in glute activation programs. It's commonly recommended for balance programs and fall prevention. This same movement is used after hip surgery. It's gentle enough for recovery, but effective enough to rebuild strength. Many physical therapists suggest doing exercises like this 3 to 4 times per week. Consistency tends to matter more than intensity. Small, regular efforts often create better long-term results than occasional hard workouts. After a few weeks of practice, many people notice standing feels more stable. Balance during walking improves slightly. These are the kinds of functional improvements this movement may support. Progress might feel subtle at first. That's normal. Your body is adapting gradually. You don't need to feel dramatic changes immediately. Strength builds over time. What matters is that you're doing something intentional for your body. Now let's move to the second movement. This one may help with side-to-side stability. Exercise 2, seated hip abduction. This movement may help strengthen the outer part of your glutes. These muscles control side-to-side stability. When they're working well, you may feel steadier on your feet. What it helps with is side-to-side balance when you walk, stability when you turn, navigating around furniture, stepping sideways safely. These muscles support you in ways most people don't think about until they start to weaken. This exercise is safe because you remain seated with your back fully supported throughout. It's a controlled movement. No standing required. Physical therapists often recommend this for hip strength and balance programs. Here's how to do it. Sit upright in your chair with your back supported. Your feet should be flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Hands can rest on the seat beside you or on your thighs for stability. Start with your knees together or close together. Now slowly move your right knee out to the side. Your foot can stay on the floor or lift slightly. Whatever feels natural. You're opening your leg away from the center of your body. Move it as far to the side as feels comfortable. You don't need to push for a large range. A small movement is perfectly appropriate. Even a few inches engages these muscles. Hold this position for 2 to 3 seconds. You may feel the outer part of your hip or thigh working. That's the muscle engaging. That tightness or awareness is normal. Then slowly bring your knee back to the starting position. Controlled and gentle. That's 1 repetition on the right side. Now, do the same with your left leg. Knee moves out to the side. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds. Bring it back to center. That's 1 repetition on the left. Do this movement 8 to 10 times on each side. You can alternate. Right side, then left side, then right again. Or you can do all repetitions on one side before switching. Whatever feels more comfortable for you. What you might notice. You may feel the outer edge of your hip working as you move your leg out. Some people feel this more in the thigh. Both are normal. The muscle group being worked runs along the outside of your hip and thigh. If you feel sharp pain, stop. But gentle muscle engagement is what you're looking for. If moving your leg far to the side feels challenging, move it less. Even a small outward movement activates these muscles. Some people start with just a few inches of movement. That's completely valid. Range often increases naturally with practice. Here's what's reassuring. These muscles respond to gentle, consistent work. You don't need dramatic range of motion to benefit. Your body adapts to what you give it regularly. Many physical therapists see improvements in their patients' walking stability after practicing this movement consistently. The side-to-side strength it builds may help you feel more secure when moving around your home or navigating uneven surfaces. After a few weeks of regular practice, some people notice they feel more stable when turning. Stepping sideways feels more secure. These practical improvements support daily activities in meaningful ways. You've completed 2 movements so far. Take a moment to notice how your body feels. You may feel a gentle warmth or awareness in your hips and glutes. That's your body responding to the work. The final exercise builds on what you've started. Exercise 3, seated glute march. This is often recommended by physical therapists because it trains the exact movement pattern you use when walking. It's the most functional of the 3 exercises. What it helps with is single leg glute activation. When you walk, you're balancing on one leg while the other swings forward. This exercise mimics that pattern. It teaches your glutes to stabilize you on one leg at a time. That's critical for balance and fall prevention. This movement is commonly used in clinical settings. Physical therapists use it to help people improve their walking stability. It's safe because you remain seated with back support. You're training the balance pattern without the risk of actually standing on one leg. Here's how to do it. Sit upright in your chair with your back supported. Your feet should be flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Hands can rest on the seat beside you or on the armrest for stability. Now lift your right knee up toward your chest. Not all the way up. Just lift it comfortably. A few inches is perfectly fine. Your foot comes off the ground. Think of it like taking a step while sitting, like marching in place. Here's the important part. As you lift your right knee, squeeze the glute on your left side, the side that's still on the chair. That's the leg doing the stabilizing work. Hold your right knee up for 1 to 2 seconds. Feel your left glute working. Then lower your right foot back to the floor. Now lift your left knee. Your right glute squeezes as the left knee lifts. Hold for 1 to 2 seconds. Lower back down. That's one complete cycle. Right knee, then left knee. Do this for 8 to 10 repetitions total. That's 4 to 5 lifts on each side. If 8 feels like enough, stop there. If 10 feels comfortable, that's appropriate. What you might notice: you may feel the glute on the side that stays down working to stabilize you. Some people feel the hip flexor in the leg that lifts. Both sensations are normal. This exercise works multiple muscles at once. If you feel sharp pain in your hip or lower back, stop. But gentle muscle engagement is what you're looking for. If lifting your knee high feels difficult, lift it lower. Even a small lift engages the muscles. Some people start with just a 1 or 2 inch lift. That's completely valid. Your range will likely increase with practice. Physical therapists often recommend this exercise for improving walking quality. It's commonly used in balance programs. The motion mimics actual walking, which is why it may help with real-world movement. Here's what's reassuring: this exercise doesn't require dramatic range of motion. Even small movements send important signals to your muscles. Your body learns a pattern. Consistency matters more than how high you lift your knee. After practicing this regularly for a few weeks, some people notice their walking feels more stable. Steps feel more deliberate. Balance when moving around the house improves. These are the functional improvements physical therapists look for. This movement addresses a real need. It trains your glutes to do exactly what they need to do when you walk. That's why doctors and therapists recommend it so often. You've now completed all 3 movements. Let me show you how to put them together. Here's how these movements work together: seated glute squeeze, seated hip abduction, seated glute march. That's your complete routine. The entire sequence may take 10 to 12 minutes. Many physical therapists suggest practicing these movements 3 to 4 times per week. Consistency tends to matter more than frequency. What to expect: in the first 2 weeks, you're familiarizing yourself with the movements. You may notice subtle improvements in how your glutes feel, a growing awareness that these muscles exist. By weeks 3 and 4, you might notice more obvious strength gains. The exercises may feel easier. Your glutes may respond more quickly. By weeks 6 to 8, many people report functional improvements in daily activities. Balance feels steadier. Standing feels more stable. Walking feels more confident. Long-term, these movements may help you maintain the independence and capability you value. Progress looks different for everyone. That's normal. A few gentle reminders about safety. Using support is always appropriate. If something causes sharp pain, stop and consult your doctor. But muscle fatigue is different from pain. Fatigue is the muscles working. Pain is your body signaling concern. Know the difference. You have permission to modify any of these movements. Listening to your body is wise, not weak. Start where you are today. There's no shame in any starting point. If you need to do fewer repetitions, that's valid. If you need more rest between exercises, take it. Modification options are equally valid as the standard versions. Progress at your own pace. You're taking care of yourself. Which movement felt most manageable for you today? Or did any exercise feel more challenging than expected? You don't need to answer, just something to reflect on. Here's what I want you to know. You're taking appropriate care of your body. This isn't about fixing something broken. It's about staying capable. Small, consistent efforts make a real difference over time. You're doing something good for yourself. Take care of yourself.